Welcome to Lynn Lineup, where we focus on the events that are happening right here in Lynn. I'm your host, Medina Sehi, and today I'm here with Hayley Sullivan, the Operations Coordinator at Lynn Arts, and Annette Sykes, the Chairwoman of the Curatorial Committee at Lynn Arts, and we'll be talking about their upcoming events. So, thank you so much for coming in today.
Yeah, our pleasure. Thank you for having us.
So let's start with What's Your Lynn opening reception. That's from August 26th, 3 to 6 p.m. at Lynn Arts.
Yeah, so it was really great to have a show, especially with Beyond Walls going on, all those beautiful murals going up. We really wanted to make sure that we had a show that went up that really celebrated all the voices of Lynn, all the diversity, you know. And we invited the artists from our community that that had been inspired by, whether it be like the industrial landscape or growing up in Lynn and, just what they see every day and how that has affected them and how that inspires their art. Yeah.
And we also, during Rock the Block, which was on July 22nd, we had a table set up where our intern was able to work with some of the families that attended that event, the kids and the adults, and they made some really quite lovely pieces. And the families of the children and adults who made the artwork that was selected will be invited to the reception. They were called and made aware that their work is in the gallery next to the artwork of artists who are practicing professional artists.
And some are even for sale.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, it was, I'm really glad to, definitely one of my favorite shows that's gone up since I've been here.
So let's talk about the live drawing open studio at Lynn Arts starting September 19th.
Yes. Yeah. We had the first one last spring, and we brought together a really wonderful group of artists, and it was very successful, and we're hoping to build on that success. So the first one for the fall series is on September 19th, and it's a series of 10 Tuesday nights, and it goes from 6 to 9 p.m. So basically what happens is you show up with your paints, your watercolors, your drawing materials, or whatever you want to work with. You don't have to be a professional artist. You don't have to be anything. You can just come on down and pay the $12 for the 3 hours, and we have a live model. Sometimes we have men, sometimes we have women, and they will be unclothed. And we, have them go in different poses, and they, get into a comfortable pose for the long pose, which will probably be about an hour, but we start out with some warm-ups. And it's generally a group of about 4 or 5. Sometimes it can get up to as many as 10 or 11, 12 artists. And we do this in the black box, so we don't have people gawking in the windows. And a little bit of music, classical or other kinds of music, depending on what people, would like. And it's a way to practice your drawing, a way to practice your seeing.
Yeah, and I definitely think making people know that's a resource that we have, that we're more than just trying to be a gallery. We want to be a source for artists to come and to practice and to hone their craft. I mean, that's something that's, for me, being, I graduated from Salem State in painting, and it's just, I wish I had known that there was things like that out there while I was taking those classes. And the funny part is there are actually professors from Salem State who end up coming to the last spring. They actually came, and and that's kind of a great example for me of someone who keeps honing their craft. You have to keep practicing, even if you get you can never wait. Practice is never wasted, and so it's so worth it to come and get the experience under your belt, because it's so rare sometimes to find live models and open studios like that, where it's come bring what you have, and we'll you'll come out with a little extra knowledge.
And this isn't a class.
Right.
It's not, there are other places on the North Shore that you can go and get some training, but this is just a studio where, you come in and you try things out on your own. It's not the type of place where you're, somebody's going to be looking over your shoulder and
Right,
saying,
yeah.
oh, you're not doing this right. It's a place for experimentation.
Yep.
Just, kind of, it's this, what I like to think of it as is the next step beyond what are they called, the sip and paints?
Yeah, the sip and,
Yeah.
the sip and paints, the paint nights,
Right.
and that kind of stuff. It's,
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of like taking that one step farther
Right.
and giving you that much more freedom in what
Right.
you're making. I mean,
Right.
how many places? Because most of the classes that you go to, a lot of the times they'll be strict on what medium you can bring. Because they don't want to make a mess or something.
Right.
But for us, if you're gonna bring paint, just bring a drop cloth, and it's all good. And it's just such a great place to come
And
together.
if you don't have an easel of your own, we do have a few table easels, and a
Right.
few things that you can experiment with, and you can make that transition. Maybe you want to just come with a friend and just try something different.
with a sketchbook.
With just like a sketchbook from Staples.
Yeah.
Just try something that you haven't done before.
Yeah.
How do you think this benefits the community of Lynn?
You don't have to go all the way to Marblehead or all the way up to Beverly or Gloucester to get this sort of a drawing experience. And it brings artists together in a community, brings creative people together.
Yeah, I think it's that, and I think it's also the fact that it's a great place for people to realize that you don't have to be an artist to practice and practice art and make stuff.
Just
right.
make things.
Like if you're like, wow, I've never done that before, I'd love to try. It's the perfect place to do it because we're not there in a class telling you how to do something.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have questions, why not ask? But during the breaks and stuff. But if you want to just go and try it, a lot of people who, they said, well, I always liked to draw, but I didn't want to go to school for it.
Oh, yeah.
And so I feel like a lot of people don't realize that there are those types of things out there. It's like, well, you can still do this. You don't have to go to college to sit in on a live drawing studio. You can just it's right there ready for you. And I think it's a resource. I think that's really what coming into this job I wanted Lynn Arts to become is to become a resource for artists and people who appreciate art, people who are there to accept it into their lives.
Yeah.
And I think between Hayley and myself and some of the other artists, where Lynn Arts is really in a place where we're building, we're designing more and more of these types of classes,
Interactive.
and trying to bring the community in. And there are places where we have some studios that are currently available.
Right.
Call Hayley up.
Yeah.
She's,
Give me a call anytime. We'll
Yep,
make
she's
we'll make
showing
an
them right
appointment.
now.
Yeah. And I'm just so excited to get more people in the building and meet more artists.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
it's a
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming in today.
Yeah.
Those are the upcoming events at Lynn Arts, the What's Your Lynn opening reception and the Life Drawing Open Studio. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to the crew for filming. My name is Medina Sehi from the LCTV studio. There's so many amazing things happening in Lynn, and we hope you can come on down and experience them with us.